Hello and welcome back to the channel, not to the woods, I guess. I'm in the garage in my bedroom, so to speak, and I just wanted to make this video as a follow-up from the I got scammed video. If you've not seen that, then there'll be a link. It might be up here. I don't know where it goes, but there'll be a link on screen either way if you would like to go and watch that video, get caught up with what's happened. I'm not going to reiterate the tale that I told in that video. However, there's a couple of things that I missed in that video that I'd like to clarify and share now, because if it wasn't evident, I don't script any of my videos. Maybe I should have scripted this video, but yeah, I didn't script it. I don't script any of the videos I do. I literally straight off the dome. So there was like details that I missed, or things that I forgot to say, or things that I should have clarified on, and so on. And as I want to share and make as many people aware of, you know, these scams and stuff that can happen online, I figured it'd be a good idea to make a follow-up video just to touch back on some feedback and comments that I've received from that video. First things first, I want to say how incredibly blessed and lucky I am to have you folks who watch my videos leave me comments and show support and stuff like that. It is honestly, it astounds me that I still get mind blown by like the generosity, the niceness, the kindness and the support that I get from sitting in front of my phone and just making videos. I've said this before, I can't remember which video I've said it many times before. I forget sometimes that like there are people that sit at home and watch me on like a telly, or, you know, watch me on their phones or whatever it is. I literally just record the video, put the video together, post it, and that's kind of it. That's where I leave it. I don't really think too much about it, and the comments, having that interaction back and forth is like a constant reminder that there are people out there, like real people that watch my videos. I've said it before, like I've been to friends' houses and they're like, oh, this is the TV that we watch you on, or I walk into my nan's house and I'm on the big screen. It like blows my mind. But the support and kindness that I've received over the last like 24 hours has been mind-boggling. Like I wanted to post this video a little bit sooner as a direct follow-up. But I'd already had the Huel video that you may have just watched already scheduled in, so I couldn't post it until today. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that first before I say anything else and get into the whole scam situation. Thank you so much. Honestly, you're far too kind, genuinely. The one biggest takeaway, and I said this to Jess the moment I finished like rendering the video out, editing it and stuff, the one thing I forgot to say, which I wanted to mention, which may have come across actually, to be fair, in the video anyway, is that the video I didn't make the video as like a cry for sympathy or a cry for help or anything like that. It was like, this is an experience that I've just gone through that I feel I should share to help or stop other people from having the same experience that I went through. I wasn't looking for people to shower me with sympathy and like let alone like Hildum7772 donated 100 Canadian dollars, I think that is. But as a birthday gift for the little one, Richie 92 donated £200 and said, like, I'm not a regular viewer in your comments. I'm not a regular in your comments, but I've been subscribed to you for a while now. Hopefully this will remind you that not everyone else in the world is as bad. And I need to say this, like, so many people have offered to either donate, send me money, or they've asked for how do we give you money? And I'm like, I have to reiterate this now at the front of this video that please don't send me money. You guys do more than enough just by watching the videos and supporting me and commenting and stuff like that. Like, you do not need to take on the responsibility of some idiot out there doing stupid stuff. You don't need to compensate for that by like trying to make up the money that I lost. I could be referred to two people, me the idiot or the guy that actually stole the phone or scammed me for the phone. It is not your responsibility to make up that £1,950, £1,000 because he got away with it, essentially. So yeah, please don't feel compelled or feel like you need to donate that money. If I could refund it, I would. I don't know how to do that. To be perfectly honest, it comes through on YouTube, and YouTube has control of all that stuff. But for those people, like I said, I've received so many messages of people being like, "Yo, I want to send you some money. Can we help contribute towards it?" I don't want you guys to do that. Like, honestly, it's very, very generous, and you should. I was always raised that you should be thankful and grateful when things are offered to you and just accept them. But I just can't in my right conscience I can't in my right conscience allow the generosity of you guys to compensate for some stupid person out there. It doesn't feel right, and that was not the intention of the video. Like I said, I'm looking back on it now, maybe I should have cut out what the money was for, but I just wanted to emphasize how crap I felt about the situation, because this is what the money was for. You know what I mean? It was, as I said, I don't script my videos. It was just straight off the dome, which is probably why some of my videos can seem repetitive sometimes. But yeah, with that, covered, I'm going to touch on a few comments and feedback from you guys on that video, just to address a couple of things. The first thing, which I kind of mentioned in the video, but maybe people didn't get that far in the video to see me mention it. I've had a couple of people being like, "Why did you give him the phone? That's so stupid." And like I mentioned in the video, there is a period of time of there has to be. Well, maybe there doesn't have to be. This is like, again, this is all things in hindsight. As I stated in the last video, this is the naivety of me just thinking he was a genuinely normal, nice person. He seemed nice enough, and I just falsely put my trust in him when I shouldn't have. And going forward, for anyone else who is looking to do this, do not hand over the product you are selling, or give the money until you receive the product. This is why I find it so difficult, right? So you shouldn't give over the product that you're selling until you see the money enter your account. But on the flip side of that, if you were selling something, you shouldn't send the money until you receive the product. So it's like, this is why it is like, I touched on it in this in the last video, where there has to be a degree of like that millisecond or a second or 60 seconds, whatever it is, of trust, where you hand over either the money and or product that you're selling and or buying. And there has to be that level of trust, because otherwise you just kind of stand there in a stalemate. So either someone is going to get messed over. Now, it's obviously easier to judge because I know that I'm a genuine person. Like, this is a real phone. I know that I'm selling a decent product to this person, so I should have just held it close to me and not handed it over until I received the money. And then we maybe would have been a bit of a debate or argue about like, well, I don't really want to send you the money in case the phone doesn't work. So it's one of those. Like I said, it was silly for me to hand him the phone before I received the money, but if the roles were reversed, I would want to see the phone before I sent him the money. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of difficult. And as I said, because I put my blindly trust in this person, just thinking he was a nice, normal guy, I trusted that process, and ultimately that led to failure. So yeah. Heed that warning. I do hear you loud and clear on that one. The second thing that I want to touch on is this picture here of, I think I called him Jason Hill in the video. His name is Jason Hall. Or better still, that's not his face and it's not his name. Now, since this video is being made, another stupid mistake that I made is that I spoke to this person and checked his profile out the day before I met him. Quite late at night, I was tired. I saw his profile picture briefly. I didn't think to take a picture of it with me and hold it in my phone, and when he got in front of me, hold it next to him side by side to make sure it's the same person. This person that you can see on screen right now is not the person who scammed me, but it is the Facebook profile that scammed me. This person is the person that I met, which blew my mind, because if I bring up my notifications really quick, somebody on Twitter called Jessica Jenkins, this person doesn't even follow me, by the way, shared a picture, this picture with me, and I was like, holy moly, it blew my mind. I was like, that is the guy that scammed me. That's the guy that has my phone. And it completely blew my mind because I didn't even think to check his profile picture versus what I saw of him. Now, obviously, I had the footage of him arriving to the gate, which happened much later on. But like I said, I looked at his Facebook profile the night before just to see who it was I was selling the phone to. And I saw beard, kid, Mrs., right? A vague identity of who this person was. The guy that showed up had a beard, he was in a flash car, and he had a cap on. I didn't pay attention to the colour of his facial hair or the colour of anything like that. I quite literally just saw beard, it's the same guy. Now, again, this is just like a rookie mistake. As I said, another thing that you should do in this situation is verify that the person you're meeting is the same as the person you've spoken to. So there is that. But the fact that this person found the same guy boggles my brain. For a second, I said to Jess, I was like, why do I feel like it's him taunting me in disguise or something like that? But it's not. Lo and behold, there is a link to a Facebook post for buy and sell in Wolverhampton. And it's the exact same scam that happened to me. And someone happens to have a picture of him in the comments. Honestly, mind-boggling. More to the point, this guy is doing it on a regular basis to multiple people. Like, this post was made on the 18th of October and he scammed me on the 25th of October, whatever, 24th of October, 25th, I can't remember the exact date. But literally like a week later, he's done it to me. So this guy must have this set up and he goes around Facebook scowling for phones or whatever the case may be, or products, and he will drive to wherever it is to go meet the people and buy them. And for this particular scam, he was driving a different Jaguar, or at least it had a different plate registration, like registration plate on it, and his name is Jonathan Williams. So he had a different Facebook profile, a different plate to who I met. So trying to nail down who this person actually is incredibly difficult using his vehicle registration, which is probably why, looking back on it, he was so open and carefree about being like, hey, take some pictures of my phone, these are transactions, you can even take pictures of my reg plate and so on. I so wish I'd persisted with the ID, because the ID, it's unlikely that he would have had a fake ID. Not impossible, obviously, depending on how good of a scammer he is. But the ID would have confirmed it. I could have persisted when he said, no, I don't have any ID. And I'm like, well, this isn't enough information for me. And maybe in the future, if this is something that happens to you, you do the same. But yeah, mind-boggling that he's doing this to other people. He's likely doing it still. Like, it would not shock me. This guy is evidently not getting caught. I have spoken to the police and stuff, which I'll touch on in a second after I kind of respond to some comments. But yeah, they don't seem to do anything about it either. So yeah, if you see this guy, just run for the hills. Don't, obviously, yeah, goes without saying. But the fact that someone who's watched my video must have watched my video, because they've just come out of nowhere. Like I said, this person didn't even follow me, and sent me this post. It boggles the brain, honestly. So yeah, I'm sorry for whoever the person was that I shared on video. I should have said during the video, but I didn't think about it. I got his name wrong, for Christ's sake. This is what I mean. This is why I probably should have scripted it a little bit. I should have scripted the video, just a little bit at the very least. But I literally went and sat on the playset and I just talked for half an hour. So yeah, this guy, if you happen to come across this guy, it's not the same person. Don't harass this person. You shouldn't harass anyone anyway. But yeah, this person is not the same person that actually met me, as you can see here. I mean, nobody, everyone obviously saw the camera footage of my front doorbell, and no one even said that in the comments either. So I don't feel as bad about the fact that I didn't put two and two together. Granted, I met the person, so I should know. But yeah, like I said, I saw beard matched on that side. He had a hat on. I didn't think anything else of it. The other one that I've received a lot of comments about is have I reported it? And have I blocked the phone? So typically when you sell a phone, this is not my first time selling a phone. I've been around for a long time. I'm old. So I've traded in phones and all sorts of stuff in the past, you know, like old phones from your Nokia. Well, I haven't traded in a Nokia phone, but like from like, you know, the first iPhone all the way up to, you know, whatever we're on now, 17 Pros or whatever they are. Before you sell a phone, you have to take the Find My thing off of it. So you have to reset the phone and you give them a blank phone. You don't give them your phone with all of your stuff on it. Do you know what I mean? Had I not wiped the phone and I just given him the phone with all of my stuff on it, then I could have just locked the phone remotely and he wouldn't have been able to do anything with it. I can essentially brick the phone remotely via Apple, but it's pretty normal to wipe the phone before you sell it. So yeah, I wiped the phone, it had no Find My on it, so I couldn't use Apple to block the phone or like lock it, etc., and report it as stolen. However, what I didn't know is that you can actually get your carrier, in my case it's EE, you can actually call up EE, report the phone as lost and or stolen, and they can block the phone remotely. Now, they don't technically block the phone like Apple does. Apple locks the phone and it's completely dead, whereas a carrier like EE can blacklist the phone. So anybody who tries to stick a SIM card in this phone in the future just won't be able to use it. So I kind of feel bad because I'm 99% positive that he has sold this phone on to somebody else, or he's taken it straight to CEX or something like that and just got rid of it. So I'm fairly confident that phone is gone, and I've essentially passed the scam on to someone else because someone else is now going to receive that phone and it's been locked or it's been blacklisted. Now, I didn't have the IMEI number because I don't keep boxes for things. I recycle all the boxes and stuff like that, and the IMEI number is usually on the box. And the other way I normally find it is by going on the phone and looking it up. Fortunately, EE know what it is, so I called up EE and I said to EE, like, look, this is the phone that's been lost and stolen. I explained the situation basically. I was like, do you happen to have the IMEI number? And they were like, yes. They gave me that number, and I was like, oh, so what do I do now? Like, how do I get this phone blocked using this number? Because I was like, I do YouTube, and someone's just left me a comment saying that I could do this, and they said we can actually do it for you right now, but they need a crime reference number. So I reported it, as I shared in the last video, I reported it to actionfraud.police. Now, ironically, about 32 minutes after I posted the video, Action Fraud sent me an email in response to my report, which was just weird timing. I was like, they definitely don't watch my videos, but they all said, I am so sorry to hear you've been a victim of a crime. Thank you for taking the time to report to Action Fraud. Your report has been sent to the National Fraud Intelligence Bureau for review. They will look through the case, and the assessment will be made whether they need to enable a law enforcement body such as the police service to investigate, and they aim to provide me with an update within 28 days. I didn't know that reference I get in that email, it clarifies as a crime reference ID or number, whatever it is. So I called 101 and I reported the situation to the police. And after 40 minutes to an hour on the phone, they essentially ended the conversation like, you need to call Action Fraud. So yeah, the police just didn't really blink an eye at it whatsoever. They just redirected me to Action Fraud. So Action Fraud is the place to go when it comes to stuff like this. And as I said, they sent me a reference here, and I used that to blacklist the phone. So now EE have blacklisted the phone. As I mentioned, what this means is that anytime someone tries to put a SIM card in this phone and use it as a mobile phone, it just won't work. It just won't ever get service. No matter how many times you reset it or stuff. I've blacklisted the phone by its ID. However, the phone can still be used with Wi-Fi and so on. So you could set the phone up, use Wi-Fi, and use your iPhone as you normally would for everything that it has, with the exception of making phone calls and using it as a phone. But as we all know, phones are used for way more than that nowadays anyway. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't block it. Even if I spoke to Apple, there's nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. It has been blacklisted, and I have reported the situation to Action Fraud, and hopefully we'll hear back from them and something gets sorted with it. Now, as you've seen in the last vlog of me, if you've not watched the last vlog because you're like new to my channel or something like that, I did preface that video, or started that video, by saying we're like kind of leaving this whole situation in the past. It is what it is. As far as I'm concerned, this happens, whether that is because of a fault that I made, or as many of you have reassured me, it's not my fault, this is someone else taking advantage, and stuff like that. Regardless of the situation, I have reported it, I have blacklisted the phone. I'm a fairly nonchalant, laid back kind of person. I don't dwell on things. I don't see the point. It is what it is. It's happened. I'm going to move on from it. So this will be the last time you hear about it, unless something significant happens in the future, like they catch the guy or something like. I can't see that happening, to be perfectly honest. But he does do it quite regularly, and he does it to multiple people. So maybe by word of mouth and sharing and stuff like that, we will do something collectively as victims of this guy's fraudulent activities. Just to clarify as well, some people have been a little confused on the situation. It's fairly normal, apparently, from research and conversations I've had with people. It's fairly normal on an Android phone to set up a fake banking app and make it look like the money has been transferred. So everything looks identical to a bank, like to the Metroid bank that this guy's particularly used. He could have used Halifax and it would have looked identical to the Halifax app. Had he used Halifax, that would have been great for me, because I have a Halifax app and I use it on a day-to-day basis. So I would know. But because he used Metroid, I was unsure on the authenticity of it. But it wasn't like a chargeback or anything like that. It straight up is a fake app. It's not a real app. It's just completely fake. And I imagine he can write in whatever he wants and change the transactions and stuff to make it look like it's real. So yeah, just to touch on that one, it is what it is. I think I've covered all bases. The only other thing is, a lot of people have said that I should have asked for cash, and I agree. Had I taken cash, then maybe it would. I think it's harder to get fraudulent money than it is to fake this transaction in the modern day nowadays, because obviously with apps like this one, it's quite easy to fake. Whereas with cash, it's a little harder to get away with. Like, I would know if it was a fake note or not, having worked in an industry that takes cash for a living for many years of my life. So yeah, that is that. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to drag this on longer than necessary, but instead of just simply replying to comments, I really wanted to make a video just to say how grateful I am to have such a lovely set of people watching my videos and leaving me feedback. Honestly, you guys teach me so much on a regular basis. I had no idea about the IMEI thing, and various other bits and pieces. Like, I never would have found a picture of this guy if it wasn't for you, and so on. Like, you guys are genuinely so kind to me. I have no idea why or what I have done to deserve this. But yeah, you're super generous, and I do appreciate it. But like I said at the beginning of the video, it is not your responsibility to pay for the crimes of somebody else. That is the right word I was looking for at the beginning of the video. It is not your responsibility to pay for the crimes of another person. So whilst I do appreciate the generosity, do not worry. Yes, I have lost £1,000 or whatever the value of the phone is, but we'll sort something out. It's not the end of the world. Like, money doesn't grow on trees, but you don't need money to be happy. It certainly helps, that's for sure. But the bathroom will still get done at some point, one way or another. Lilia will still have a lovely birthday, and we'll try and get her as many gifts as possible, even if it means I make them all. We are crafters, hand crafters and stuff like that. Jess can make a bunch of stuff. I'm thinking of whipping out the CNC machine and the 3D printer and making some things for her and stuff. I do want to give her the world. She is my daughter and it is her birthday. But ultimately, realistically, when you think about it, she's 1 year old. She's not going to remember this birthday. It's more, I feel like it's, in many ways, it's like a selfish thing because it's something as parents that we remember, but she won't necessarily remember it. But I think as long as we have some time together and we do something for her, I think it'll be a-okay. So I appreciate it all the same, but I'm going to leave it on that. I'm not going to hold you up any longer. Just for, for peace of mind, be careful if you ever try to buy or sell something on Facebook Marketplace. Take all precautions, and hopefully from me sharing my experience, you may have learned something, or it may have helped you in a situation that you have gone through. But we are going to put this whole story and situation to bed, and I'm going to get on with my life. Again, I'm sorry for the vlogs being so this week. It's just that I'm behind because of everything I described in the last video. So I'm just doing things that are very easy for me to throw together as a video, rather than the big projects that take a lot more concentration, a lot more time, dedication to get done. In the next week, the bathroom will undergo some fairly drastic changes as I gear back up to getting stuff done in there. Annoyingly, Wix missed off a few of my tiles that I had ordered for the bathroom, so I've got to chase that up after I finish talking to you. So yeah, anyways, appreciate you watching as always. Thank you so much for your generosity, kindness and support, and I will catch you guys in the next vlog. Peace, much love, bye bye.